So if you guys have been watching me for a while, then you know that I've done pretty well in the type beat space. I've grown dozens of type beat channels, and before I graduated high school, I had already made $250,000 from selling beats. And I've also generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for other producers like yourself. But I was thinking it'd be pretty valuable for you guys if I was to show you exactly what I would do step by step if I was to start over from scratch. Alright, so first things first is I would pick a profitable niche, right? Now, what is a profitable niche? Well, profitable niche is definitely a niche that doesn't need to get a lot of views in order to get sales. So I like to think of niches like R&B, boom bap, even Gunna type beats, pain beats are really good for getting sales, stuff like that. I definitely go for a profitable niche that does get a lot of views, but also gets a lot of sales due to the market that it's attracting. Because you don't want to go for a niche that really targets the younger side of the market because they just don't have a lot of money or the maturity to really want to invest in themselves yet. So that's kind of how I think about it in terms of like actually thinking about, well, what is a profitable niche, right? So let's say I want to go with pain beats. Okay, so now we kind of have to find a keyword. So we're going with pain beats as the niche, right? But now we need to find the keyword. So this is where you can use something like vidIQ or just doing your research on your own just by searching on YouTube or using YouTube incognito, right? For example, I'll just show you, like, if I wanted to find a pain keyword, we could just start with pain type beat, right? We're going after the niche, so let's just see what actually pops up here. Okay, off the rip, we have Screwly G, we have Lil Papa, we have Sad Type B, No Cap, then we have Lil TJ, Polo G, just kind of that sound. So let's say, okay, we want to go for maybe that type of niche. So now here's where you'd want to use vidIQ to see, okay, how many people are actually searching this keyword and what's the competition looking like. So I'd search up Polo G type beat, and as you can see, okay, 136,000 on the search volume. That means about, 136,000 people are searching this keyword every single month, and the competition is low. Now let's look up Lil TJ type beat. Okay, it actually has a higher search volume and the competition is still low. So definitely, like, combining these two keywords in a title is clearly a good idea, right? Because it has this high search volume and low competition. That's what you want, right? Now the thing with vidIQ is you can always trust their search volume metric, but I never can really trust their competition personally. So it says low competition, but in order to actually see, I like to use YouTube itself, and this is where I can really see it because I have the Chrome extension. So just on YouTube, I could see how many subscribers these guys have, which really helps me kind of figure out, okay, is this niche really that competitive? So the people at the top, the average subscriber count is around like 10K, I'd say. This guy has 36K, this guy's 40K. I'd say, like, okay, this niche is decently competitive. Now if we look up No Cap type beat, we see the top guys have around 35K. Everyone on here has a lot of subscribers, so maybe this niche wouldn't be the best to go after. Now let's try Screwly G type beat. Okay, the people at the top definitely have, I'd say, a lower subscriber count in general. What this guy did is he added guitar pain, like, to the keyword, which kind of differentiates himself, and I always recommend that to people as well. You could even do Screwly G X pain type beat like this guy's doing. You see he has 800 subscribers, which is relatively low, and he's going after a different sector of the market for this keyword, because usually Screwly G is rapping on beats that are definitely more like that hard Chicago sound, but he's going after the people that want that pain sound that he has as well. So if you combine an evergreen keyword like pain type beat with a trending keyword like Screwly G type beat, you actually have a really good chance of blowing up. So I think that this would be a good bet. So what I would do is, now we have a good idea of kind of what we want our titles to look like. So for my title, I'd probably do something like, free Screwly G X guitar pain type beat. So for the title, I do something like Screwly G X guitar pain type beat. And so now you kind of have to tap into, like, who is your ideal viewer? Because when it comes to branding and kind of getting, like, the theme of your channel, you have to be thinking about that. You have to be thinking of, like, if I was the artist that likes Screwly G type beats, but only wants his pain sound, what would I be clicking on and what would I want to listen to? So what I would do is I would take the top guys in this niche, right? We have this guy, and we can just label this as channels to study. So I would take like 3 of the top guys in the niche and I would study them relentlessly, right? I would see, okay, what are they doing for their thumbnails? What are they doing for their descriptions, titles, tags, all of that? And I would make a list of every single thing that they are doing, right? I would start to think about that. Make a list, every single thing that they're doing, And then I would make another list right next to this. And what this list would be is what they could be doing better. And from here, all you have to do is now take what they are doing and then add this list and replace it with whatever they're doing here. And now you have a winning formula, right? This turns into a winning formula, and this allows you to easily take out your competition, right? So it's just studying your niche. And this is stuff that, like, these are the same processes that I go through every single time I start a new Typee channel. So now that I've studied my competition, I would then make a theme for my channel. So since we're doing pain, it might be a good idea to go for black and white thumbnails, because those seem to do pretty good and it kind of matches the aesthetic, you know. Pain is kind of like black and white. It makes sense, right? So we would make the theme and we can just say black and white thumbnails of guys looking sad and smoking, right? To get a little more specific. Now, where would I find these pictures? Well, I would 100% be using Pinterest. That's what I always use to get my pictures. Now, the reason why having a theme to your channel is so important, especially with your thumbnails, is because when people subscribe to you for the Scrolly G pain beats, once they see that your thumbnails are black and white, all they would need to do is see a black and white thumbnail of a guy looking sad and smoking for them to know that it's a new beat from you. And that's really where the branding comes in. It's like now you're creating kind of your own aesthetic, your own theme, right? And that's where it really comes into play, because when you get your subscribers to actually click on your video, YouTube knows to now push it out to more people that aren't subscribed. But if your own fans, if your own subscribers don't even click on your new video, then they won't push it out to anyone else, which is probably a big reason why you guys aren't seeing growth. So if you were to do a Scrolly G type beat with a black and white thumbnail of a guy sad and smoking, and then the next day drop a Gunna type beat with a colorful thumbnail of a watch, yeah, that might work for other people's channels, but that's because that's all they do, and their audience recognizes that and likes that. But if your audience likes sad Scrolly G type beats and black and white thumbnails, then you need to continue rinsing and repeating that and giving your audience what they want. So then what you should be doing is create a signature intro for your beats. So when I say this, I'm not talking about like a crazy visualizer intro or something like that. That actually hurts your retention. What I'm talking about is a signature intro with the sound. So for a while, what I did when I was posting Big Scar and Pooh Shiesty beats, number one, I thought of, okay, who am I targeting? I'm targeting people that like Pooh Shiesty type beats. Okay, well, what does Pooh Shiesty wear? He wears ski masks. What does Big Scar wear? He wears ski masks. What do they rap about? Okay, gun violence. Okay, so look exactly what I would put in my pictures. I gave the market what the market wants. This video then got 1 million views. Big Scar isn't that big of a keyword, but because I gave the market what it wants, and then I combined it with retention hacks and all the nerdy arrangement and average view duration hacks, that's how you get a viral video. Now, one of these days, I'm gonna make a video on just everything about average view duration and all that. But what I would do is in every single video, I would start the beat with gunshots and then a car like skirting off. And I'd even play like a scream at the end, like a girl screaming or something. Just like sound effects, like you know how Metro Boomin would put that girl screaming? I'd put stuff like that too. Just because for like beats like this, it makes the most sense. And it just kind of makes it more than just like a beat, you know? Now it's like, you're creating like a type beat video, right? You want it to go viral, so you kind of have to do little extra things like that and kind of design it to be a banger. So I would do that every single beat, and that was kind of like my signature intro, and I think it's really, really important. Once I have this figured out, I would flood the market. Okay, I would post, if I was starting a brand new channel, I would post twice a day. For the first 2 months, I would post twice a day. I would absolutely flood the market. That way, within the first month or two, I can instantly take over the competition because of what I already did before, which was I studied the competition, I wrote down everything that they're doing, and then I wrote down what they could be doing better, and I did that. I applied it to the channel. Then when you do that, and you master the sound, and you create your own theme, and then create a signature intro and style for your beats, while then posting double what your competition is doing, that's how you take over the competition and if you dominate your niche. This is the proven formula. This is the strategy that I would do with every single Typee channel that I blew up. And mind you, I've done this for a lot of Typee channels, okay? Okay, so now you've dominated the niche and you're at, a few thousand subscribers, you're getting consistent views. What do you do now? Well, what I would do is I would study my own analytics, because when you're first starting out, you're kind of like studying and copying the competition in your niche. That way you can eventually take over them. But once there's no one else to copy because you're at the top of the niche, what do do you do to make sure that you don't fall off? Well, that's where you start going into your own analytics and studying every little metric that you can. When are your subscribers most active? Okay, start posting at that time. Why are your top 10 videos getting those views? What are their metrics like? What are the thumbnails on these videos? Do they have something that's clearly consistent popping up? If so, keep doing that because clearly that's what's causing it to blow up. What's the arrangement like on your top 10 beats? When does the beat drop on your top 10 beats? Like, you want to study your own analytics. That way you can continue to crush it. So this is what I do if I was to start completely from scratch to grow a type beat channel and dominate the niche. Now, I didn't go in depth on like how to make your thumbnails really good and getting your average view duration high and your retention and all those retention hacks and stuff like that. I didn't go in depth on that in this video because I actually have a video that I'll link in the description and I go over all of that in depth, so feel free to check that out. But other than that, have a good night, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.